Working on a team is hard, especially on a team that initially made
I am Chad.
Hmm.
Cool story, bro. Time for gains.
the Chad. That's their last game. A masterpiece of dank memes, juiced up funk, and a dream made up with two Italians and their cannolis. And now, that same team with a bigger bakery has trusted me to design their combat for this game called Unsanctified. Unsanctified is a grim-dark Gothic horror Souls-like. It's more than just a new project, it's a creative leap of faith across a canyon. And my role isn't just about code and animations, it's about navigating that leap. It's about finding that shared vision in the dark. This is the story of how we're building the combat for Unsanctified, and how learning to fight together as a team is the only way to make it work. First, you need to understand the world of Unsanctified. It's 1919, the Great War is over, but a new shadowy conflict has begun. Demons are breaking into our world and making contracts with human souls. To fight this threat, a secret organization called the Agency hunts them by fighting fire with fire. They find those who've made demonic pacts and give them a simple choice: join us or die. You play as one of these agents, bound by a contract and powered by a demonic entity. Basically, you're a living weapon. When I joined the project, I was the new guy. The team already had a foundation and a vision. But jumping into an existing code base and existing creative flow, it felt like being airdropped into a war zone. I had to learn the rules of engagement fast. And honestly, the initial player code was a beast. It was functional, but siloed. It wasn't built for any kind of scalability or collaborative workflow we needed. My first battle wasn't against demons, it was against confusion. Before I could even think about making combat feel good, I had to establish a clear foundation. I refactored a huge portion of player logic, moving functionality into distinct independent components. This wasn't just a personal preference, it was about creating a shared language. It meant an animator, a designer, or another programmer could look at the system and understand it without having to decipher my personal logic. With a stable foundation, we could finally build. We started with the weapons. In game development, every asset is a conversation between departments. It's a perfect example of how crucial clear roles and open communication are. For the pistol, we wanted a hand cannon with stopping power, something that felt deliberate and impactful, like a Destiny 140 hand cannon, for example. My job was to translate that feel into code. While the animators gave it the visual kick it needed, constant back and forth was key. As for the shotgun, the goal here was simple: ferocity. We wanted the raw, visceral power of the Doom shotgun. This required tight sync between sound design, visual effects, and an animation refactor, which we rebuilt from the ground up to be smoother and more adaptable. We centralized the animation logic, so adding a new gun or a new attack wouldn't mean reinventing the wheel every time. Of course, it doesn't always go smoothly. We had our fair share of, let's call them happy accidents. But having a structured workflow meant we could debug these issues together instead of pointing fingers. Building a game like Unsanctified is a constant battle on two fronts. There's the challenge of creating compelling, visceral combat that lives up to our grimdark vision, but behind that, there's the equally important challenge of building a team that can actually execute that vision. It requires you to break down silos, to communicate with respect, and to trust that even when you disagree, you're all fighting for the same thing. In our game, the agents are bound by a demonic contract, and for us, it's a creative contract. We either join together to see this through, or our vision dies, and we have no intention of letting that happen. And that's all I've got.